Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to another Warframe video here on the channel. Now today, we have the 7 Crimes of Kullervo. Brand new update, update 33.5, aka the one after the Duviri paradox, bringing some more Duviri related content in the form of the new Warframe Kullervo and Kullervo's Hold. So we're just going to quickly whiz over some of the patch notes. A new island has appeared just off the Duviri mainland, a prison to hold a guilt-ridden betrayer, Kullervo. Enter Kullervo's hold to uncover his crimes for yourself and be tested against this formidable opponent. Dive into Kullervo's story by playing the new limited-time node that shares its name with the name Duviri Island Kullervo's Hold. Access via the Duviri region in the star chart. 5 Pathos clamps is your entry price to a lone story version of the Sorrow Spiral, destined to bring you head-on against Kullervo and punish him for his crimes against the kingdom. He is the 53rd Warframe. And then there's some other new stuff in Duviri experience, such as Kaith Racing, Undercroft Portals, Lost Beginnings, and Recover the Paragrim's Tomes. There's also new decrees. Basically, it's a lot of new Duviri-related content. So one thing you'll notice then when we go into it, there will be this new loading screen, and I believe that there may be slightly different login music. I can't actually tell straight away. I can't remember what the previous one was. This is definitely Duviri music, but I don't know if we've heard it before or not. Now, for those of you wondering, I did intend on this being a stream, but I unfortunately am currently incapable of doing any streaming. So let's go straight into it. So the way that Kullervo will normally work, you will get him in the Sorrow, Anger, and I believe it is the Envy spirals, normally. But for the current time being, for the next 2 weeks, there is an event that guarantees you to get a Kullervo encounter. So normally he will just be one of the stages of your Duviri experience. However, this time, for the cost of 5 Pathos clamps, you can go into Kullervo's Hold, and it'll be a Sorrow Spiral story, lone story, where you have an opportunity to confront Kullervo. Now Kullervo, like I say, he is a new Warframe, and it costs 5 Pathos clamps per lone story attempt that you have on this. Interesting that I can use Kullervo, so I guess we can give him a try out. Whatever his abilities like, that's the question. So I'm actually going to use Kullervo to get Kullervo. Kullervo charges a heavy attack, then teleports to his target and strikes, or hold to teleport to any marked location. That's cool. His X ability surrounds himself with daggers. Each dagger that strikes an enemy restores his health, but each dagger that misses strikes him. Oh, he receives Overguard if he's at max health. That's an interesting one. Sends forth a curse. The third ability, he sends forth a curse that binds enemies. When a cursed enemy takes damage from him, every other cursed enemy also suffers a portion of that damage. Okay. That's quite cool. And then the Void answers Kullervo's invocation with a storm of daggers that rain down upon his enemies. That's quite a cool 4th ability. And then his passive ability is that he boasts a plus 75% heavy attack efficiency and 100% heavy attack wind-up speed on all melee weapons. So, that is the new Warframe Kullervo. Now, we're going to use Kullervo. I'm going to try him out a little bit. Hopefully we'll do. We've got some good weapons. Honestly, seems potentially not. We'll go for this for now, and then we'll go into Duviri.
The Sorrowful Soprano. Sorrow is the bitter spice without which life is too sweet. Lucinia indulged in it to excess.
Duviri has changed.
Ooh.
You may have your freedom, but a new prisoner has come amongst us. A tormented soul, This dark day
So Lucinia
is
knows
his
about Kullervo.
as much as mine.
And Kullervo's hold, as you guys saw on the map, is a little island down the bottom middle.
The other side reaches out to you through the king's mirror, defying the Dax. Answer their need.
I have just realised that I'm only doing this on normal. I'm not doing this on like Steel Path. Which I think I could have done it on Steel Path actually, I do believe, but we'll stick to normal for the video. So you guys know what this stage is, so I'll just get through this stage for y'all. So you'll notice then that we've got decrees, obviously. Some of these are new ones as well. So Scornful Cast, for example, here is a new one. Casting an ability deals 50 corrosive damage to nearby enemies and applies 2 corrosion stacks. Damage radius doubles for Warframes. Quite a nice one. But some of them might have negative impacts for you as well. So just be very careful with your decrees now. We've got a few new ones here if I re-roll. Finisher attacks grant plus 500 armor for 10 seconds, armor boost triples for Warframes, or finishers grant plus 200% ability strength to your next power strike. So you'll notice some of these new decrees as you're playing through, and then you'll notice if I re-roll one last time, here's one of those bad decrees that might require some sacrifice. Sacrifice minus 50% armor to increase the base damage of your shots by 1 for every 20 armor remaining. So it'll increase all your damage by however much armor you've got left after they strip away half of it. So it's quite interesting to see how some of these new decrees might impact the game. But all in all, it is interesting to see these changes to Duviri, and it's nice to see that Duviri can be an expanded on experience where they can add more to it over time. I mean, don't know how much more they'll add to it. I don't think they will add much more past all of this, to be honest, but
A royal maze.
so
I think I lost something precious in a maze like that long ago. Please, would you quest on my behalf?
all in all,
some small
it's going to be interesting to see where they do go from here. I think this will probably be our last update now until after TennoCon 2023. So for those Tenno that are watching, thinking, what could update 34 bring? I'm sure we'll find out in August at the latest TennoCon. But until then, I wouldn't really expect anything new. I think, personally, we might be through everything this side of August, to be honest now. I'd say maybe dev stream in July, well, the start of July, and then after that I don't quite know. If we look, we've got a new decree there in the second slot. Finishers deal 20% of the enemy max health as heat damage. So that's quite a cool new one.
At first, Lucinia felt some comfort from her actions. At least she was doing something.
So then we head into the Undercroft for stage 3. So here we are, fast approaching stage 3, which is going to take us into the Undercroft. So I'm going to let you guys see this stage because obviously we're going to use Kullervo here. So we get a chance to use the new Warframe before we actually get him. So obviously doing these missions over the next 2 weeks is how you're going to farm up Kullervo. Otherwise you're going to have to wait until the correct spirals and hope that you get it. I believe they've made defense easier, actually, noticing that we've got defense now. So
battles within the origin system were lost.
I'm sure we'll soon find out.
Through the paradox, you now have the chance to undo those defeats. The enemy musters for fresh assault. Hold the line.
Okay, Kullervo is pretty powerful. But they have definitely made defenses easier. There are only 3 waves now. Right. Let's work our way through this. Kullervo is kind of interesting. I'm not 100% sure on him yet, but I think he'll be fun, particularly if you're a melee player. So, all in all, I quite like him.
Prepare yourself. A fresh wave approaches.
And then obviously we can use him to get our overcard using the X ability. I don't quite know what to make of the way that overguard is appearing in my top right there though. Feels like they've changed the UI slightly there. An interesting change. So it's obviously worth noting as well with the X ability that if any daggers do not hit enemies, they will turn back and hit you. Remember that Kullervo is the ultimate betrayer, so it'd be interesting to use him outside of Duviri, I reckon. He also doesn't appear to have shield, which is curious.
Do not falter.
Here's another one of these frames with no shield.
Stand fast.
I think we're slowly working our way through this. This is quite simply just the Duviri lone story, but with a guarantee of the Kullervo stage at some point. So at some point we will go to Kullervo's hold, and it will constantly be the sorrow spiral that you are in. For this, that does mean that the Arch Arbor will be in, but not the Amphitheatre. So if you want any of the islands that are locked to certain spirals, then let that be known. If you're trying to farm up the Amphitheatre, this mission, I mean, I guess you would be free to do it, but it is a lone story, so actually I guess you're not really free to do whatever you want, because it's not the full Duviri experience. There's no side quests, it is just a case of get the story done. So, we'll extract from the Undercroft, and then we'll be on to stage 4.
Sorrow had made Lucinia compassionate. She could not give
pain. So we have a new stage over here.
Feeling it.
Are we to leave
Find the lost
treasures
belongings.
of the past moldering where they fell? No, I pray you gather them up. And it is.
Okay, so when we find them we get attacked by some Luminous. Okay, that's good to know. So we must explore these sort of ruins, caves, try and find these peculiar shiny things. The package arrived and the drifter didn't lose it or eat it. Wow. Thanks, Dominus. Alright, stage 5 is back into the Undercroft, so we will see you in there. So here we are, guys, we're in stage 5, it's an exterminate, and I'm going to use Kullervo's abilities here to try and see if I can work my way through them. I've got to say, I'm quite a fan of his X ability, but the recoil damage on it is quite hefty. But the amount of overguard you get from it is really nice, like 3,500 overguard right now. Like, you really can't hate that. And then the Y ability seems to cast like an area where it just starts raining knives. And the fact that like these knives just deal slash damage is quite powerful. Quite a powerful ability. Wait! The new person that's hidden in the... You're joking. The new person that's hidden in the Duviri exterminates is Corrupted 4? What? That's incredible. I did not expect that. But damn. Fair play to DE, they pulled a sneaky on me. But now we get to leave the Undercroft and head back for the 6th and final stage of this bounty, which should be facing Kullervo at Kullervo's hold.
Even as she prepared to risk everything on a final reckless gamble.
So now we head down to the new island, the prison of Kullervo's hold. A most beautiful island.
The tormented Kullervo deserves to be known. To know peace. Give him back his dignity.
So we speak to the warden.
From the warden's savage cruelty.
I keep him locked up here for his own safety and that of all Duviri.
I would love to confront Kullervo, thank you.
Kullervo ravages Duviri once again. Extinguish his spirit as I once did.
I find it ironic that because I'm fighting as Kullervo, I can kill Kullervo with Kullervo. That's quite funny. So when you take out the first wave of Kullervo, he gets respawned in another prison cell. He's tanky. I'll give him that. And he deals a fair amount of damage. Taking out Kullervo is not going to be easy, Tenno. so take care when you go to fight him yourselves. You can see here that I am maxed out on my intrinsics, and even I am struggling somewhat to kill him. It would not surprise me if he takes me down here, using those shadow clones of his.
Just one more defeat amongst countless, Kullervo. When, oh when, shall you learn this most
Oh, so he
obvious of
spawns in
lessons
Persecute
and
Luminous
remain
as well.
low?
So I guess we now use Kullervo to try and defeat Kullervo. Ow! Bro, he doesn't have all these abilities when I use him, what the hell? Damn!
Kullervo, kneeling? What did this drifter do to deserve your respect? Do you
So we've
think
taken
you've
out the
won?
Warden.
Well, answer me! Answer me!
We defeated Kullervo, and now we have Lucinia
It's too
crying.
much. The sadness. Nobody else can bear it like I can. They aren't strong enough. It's me.
Now, before I go and summon the Aura Worm and do the final fight, I am curious to inspect Kullervo's hold a little bit more. For I am sure that just like all the Isles of Duviri, will hide stuff.
The warden will never find us.
But
Not all the way down here.
one thing I'm going to say really quickly about this mini update. It does seem very much like the Warden could secretly be balanced. And that truly would be a twist in the tale of Warframe. All in all, Kullervo's hold is the most curious island, containing the most curious person.
Kullervo,
Ooh,
from his mother's breast he was torn.
damn, the kids have got a rhyme about Kullervo. Damn. So, most curious. Let's go and take on the Aura Worm, and I'll be back shortly, folks. Here we are, taking down the last bit of Lucinia. And then we have our nice cinematic as normal. We are united. The dragon falls. We rest our hand on it, and it'll raise its head. We maintain eye contact. A few unspoken words are shared, and then the dragon flies off away from us. And we complete the bounty.
Bravely done. For this one night at least, Duviri is calm.
What happened?
And then, as I'm sure you guys can see here, nice and simply, we can go to Akrithis. And you'll notice straight away,
Should I
there's
pretend I haven't
3
seen
options with her now. The first one is our browser, it's our normal thing. Then we've got the Enigma archive things, which is where if you've been doing your Paragrim things to get those Enigma gyrems, you can buy the stuff here. You've now got your normal stuff that you can get from her just in Browse Wares. For example, I want that Orawai Marina scene. And then finally, we have the new Kullervo's Archive, where from getting Kullervo's Bane, we can purchase ourselves the blueprint and parts for Kullervo, and the blueprint and parts for the Router, which is Kullervo's signature weapon. So it is a curious weapon, I must say. So let's go and extract from Duviri, see if we get any of Kullervo's Bane. I don't actually know how necessarily you get them yet. Don't know if you have to do these missions. I think this is where you get them. I don't think you have to do them with Steel Path. There we go, we've just completed a normal run and we've got 4 Kullervo's Bane. So as you guys can see, you get them quite easily. It won't take long to farm up Kullervo. And all in all, he seems like quite a fun frame. So make sure, if you want it nice and quick and easy, that you get in the next 2 weeks, because this event will make it much easier for you. When the event is over, Kullervo can still be found and still be fought. However, you will have to get lucky with getting his stage during a sorrow, anger or envy spiral. But with that in mind, guys, I hope this video helps. I hope you found it informative, enjoyable and fun to watch, and I will see you all in the next one. Enjoy the 7 Crimes of Kullervo.